Well, here we go. Finally a game for Michigan. 9-0 Michigan travels to Happy Valley to take on 8-1 Penn State. It will be on big noon kickoff on Fox. Michigan leads the all-time series 16-10 and has won the last two meetings in a row. Michigan won 9 straight before Penn State enjoyed 14 straight in the last year of Lloyd Carr and then Rich Rod and then Brady Hoke. I think it was last year of Lloyd Carr and then the 3 years of Rich Rod. They had a 4-game winning streak and they enjoyed that mightily. So it's been kind of back and forth here since then. Michigan winning the last 2, but usually the home team wins this game. Penn State is looking for win 929 in their program's history, and Michigan is looking for win number 999. 2 wins away from 1,000. Will Penn State force Michigan's 1,000th win to be the Ohio State game by winning this game here? We shall see. Let's start with Michigan's offense versus Penn State's defense, and then Penn State's offense versus Michigan's defense to wrap it up. I will do a prediction. These are 2 of the best defenses in the nation, arguably 2 of the top 3, maybe the top 2. But we're going to start with Michigan's offense here, who is averaging 41 points per game, 424 yards per game. J.J. McCarthy has 156 completions out of 206 passes, 76% still this season, 237 yards per game through the air, and he has 18 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in the air. No touchdowns or interceptions last week, but he did have 335 yards versus Purdue. Roman Wilson has 36 catches for 589 yards. That's a 16.4 average, and he has 10 touchdowns. Colston Loveland has 27 catches now for 419 yards, 15.5 average, and 4 touchdowns. And then on the ground, Blake Corum, the bowling ball. Blake the Great, 126 carries for 649 yards. That's a 5.2 average. Now, he's had way less carries this season than he did last season. But still, 649 yards, not too shabby. 16 touchdowns this season rushing. That is amazing already in 9 games. What is the odds that Michigan was waiting to punish people on the ground until Penn State, Ohio State, Georgia, the big teams? It's a real question because what Michigan has done on the ground so far hasn't been stellar. Last season they had 167 rushing yards, or this season they have 167 rushing yards per game. Last year they had 239 rushing yards per game. Now, I know that just because Michigan is trying to be versatile this year and spent a lot of time on pass concepts, that right there will hinder a run game in some shape or form. But I have a question. Does the offensive line want to win a 3rd straight award, saying that they are the best offensive line in the nation, the Joe Moore Award? They're going to have to prove it right here. Does it mean Michigan can't run 4 times in a row to get a first down anymore? I don't know. But I have a feeling we're about to find out in this Penn State game because their defense is legitimate. Their secondary is really good. Let's take a look. Allowing 12 points per game on defense, Penn State is, and 234 yards per game. Penn State has a great defense, and because of that, no one player stands out, just like Michigan's defense. Curtis Jacobs is a linebacker, and he leads their team in tackles with 36. That's it. That's spread out. He has 1 sack. Defensive end Adissa Isaac has 21 tackles, and he has 6.5 sacks. So we need to keep an eye on that guy. And cornerback Johnny Dixon has 3 sacks and an interception. 19 players for Penn State have a sack this season so far, including Chop Robinson with 3. But I don't know if he will play. I didn't even really pay attention if he played, if he got back in, if he's back or not. So just being honest there, he is a force if he is playing. with secondary is better than all of this, if you can believe that, with 10 interceptions so far. DeLuca has 2 at linebacker, Hardy has 2, and 6 other players on this team have 1 interception. So can Michigan run the ball, set up some play action, get these guys out of position, and then completes passes if needed? That's what I'm leaning towards on that side of the ball. Now let's talk about Penn State's offense versus Michigan's defense. The offense for Penn State is averaging 40 points per game and 394 yards per game. The yards are a bit down for my liking for a great team. But Drew Eller, new quarterback, has 181 completions, 288 attempts. 63% is all, and only 211 yards per game, but he has 20 touchdowns to just 1 interception. He's kind of a dink and dunk guy. He can hit the long ball, but he just needs work. He's a little bit like McCarthy last year, except he can't run. But Keandre Lambert-Smith caught 51 of Aller's completions for 645 yards and 4 touchdowns at wide receiver. So don't let that guy get loose. And they have a couple of tight ends in Theo Johnson and Tyler Warren. Theo has 24 catches for 246 yards and 4 touchdowns. Tyler has 23 catches for 216 yards and 6 touchdowns. The offensive line is getting 173 yards per game on the ground with Singleton and Allen. Allen has 119 carries for 573 yards. That's a 4.8 clip and 4 touchdowns. Singleton has 121 carries for 480 yards. That's a 4-yard average and 7 touchdowns. And then this Bo Pribula guy at quarterback has 44 carries for 240 yards. That's a 5.5 average, and he has 4 touchdowns. So watch out for maybe, is this a wildcat situation? You put him in there and he runs. I bet he passes in this game. If any time, it's going to be against Michigan. So watch out, Michigan's defense, for that, for Bo Pribula and some sketchy play calling. Now, let's talk about Michigan's defense, what Penn State will be going up against. Like Penn State, there is no standout because everyone is good. Junior Colson is the linebacker, and he leads the team in tackles with 49. As a team, they're allowing 7 points per game and 231 yards per game. Something's going to have to give here on both sides of the ball. Michigan has 12 players with a sack, including Josiah Stewart with 4.5. Jalen Harrell has 3.5, and Derek Moore has 3. As far as the secondary, they have 12 interceptions already this season, including Sainristil's 3, Keon Sabb's 2, and Will Johnson's 2. Plus, between the 3 of them, they have 4 touchdowns, with Sainristil having 2 of them. So it's going to be tough for both sides of the ball. What I think Penn State has to do is, I don't know. I mean, do they pass to open up the run? It's going to be difficult for either team to move the ball. But I think it's simple to me that if Michigan can run, they will have some success. And they ran for 400 yards on Penn State last year. But if they can't run, will JJ bail them out because he is the superior quarterback of the two? I think they'll be able to run, and I think JJ is the superior quarterback of the two. So give me Michigan to win this game. I'm going to go 31 for Michigan, 31 points, and Penn State 17. So Michigan wins by 14, but it's a closer game than the score would indicate, in my opinion. I think it'll be close until the end, and then Michigan will keep all of its starters in for once in a game. I think for the first time in any game all season, they'll keep the starters in all game and score a late touchdown to pull away from Penn State and have that cushion. So there you have it, 34-21. Michigan wins in Happy Valley. And I didn't even look at the spread. I like to wait to do my predictions for all the games before I look at the spread so it doesn't sway my judgment. And then I compare the two, and then that's how I come up with my bets. And that video will be out on Thursday, so stay tuned for that video. Otherwise, like this video, like all the videos that you watch, subscribe if you haven't. Would be more than welcome to welcome more of you on board here and get closer to 200 subscribers. And we'll see you, like I said, on the next one. Have a great day out there, everybody.